So we are officially live on YouTube. And the reason I do that, folks, some of you may be wondering what's that component. It's because so many of you ask for replaying the Sunday morning sessions, and YouTube has a way of not only live streaming it, but also saving it. And so there is a way for you to go back and revisit some of these things. And so I have an assistant who I pay her for basically taking this entire 1 minute, 1 hour segment and just making it the 20-minute meditation piece. So especially those of you first timers who want to know what I'm talking about, their Sunday morning Joy Vijay consists of 3 components. We start with some chanting. We follow it up with some breath work, pranayama, ancient art of Indian wisdom of manipulating breathing to be able to create a deep sense of stillness and calm before we dive into the deep end of the pool, which is the meditation bit. So the first 2 stages of Sunday morning Joy Vijay prepare the body, the breath, and the brain to be able to go deep into the heart space in the third step, which is the meditation bit, as I mentioned. So get ready, buckle up. We're here for an amazing ride. And I will not be looking at the comments in the chat, so I suggest that you don't either. You've showed up here, so make this time truly matter by completely allowing yourself to go inwards, looking inwards. Let's use all our physical eyes and the spiritual eye to be looking within, where ultimately that's where the journey is, and that's where it truly matters. All right? With that said, I ask you to take a long, slow, deep breath into the belly and out through the mouth. Another long, slow, deep breath in through the nostrils. All the way down into the belly, allowing the belly to expand, and then exhaling it all out with an audible sigh. A long, slow, deep breath in. And even longer exhale out. If you haven't already done so, I invite you to downshift your gaze or ever so gently close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Now, with this next inhalation, I want you to breathe down into the base of your spine. This is referred to as the Mooladhara, or the root chakra. This is the seat of survival. This is a seat of safety. Breathing into this area, giving it what it needs, allowing it to expand and soften. And as you exhale, I want you to release it with the sound of Lam. Now I want you to breathe into your sacral chakra. This is a couple of finger spaces below your navel. This is the seat of satisfaction, referred to as Swadhisthana. Breathe into this area, giving it what it needs, allowing it to expand and soften. And as you exhale, I want you to release it with the sound of Vam. Now, breathing into your solar plexus, just below where the rib cage ends and the soft tissue begins. This is the seat of confidence, referred to as Manipura chakra. Breathe into this area, give it what it needs, allowing it to expand. And this time, as you exhale, I want you to release it with the sound of Ram. Now, breathing into your heart space, Anahata chakra, the seat of the love that you are. expanding this area, softening it. And as you exhale this time, I want you to release it with the sound of yum. Now, breathing into your throat center. This is the Vishuddha chakra, also the seat of self expression. Let your voice be heard, opening up this area, softening it, giving it what it needs. And as you exhale, I want you to release it with the sound of hum. Now, breathing into the region of the third eye, the seat of wisdom, somewhere below the brain, between the ears and behind the eyes. Breathing into this area, giving it what it needs. And this time, as you exhale, I want you to release the sound of shum. Now, breathing into the tippy top of your head, this is the Sahasra, the crown chakra. This is this portal to the divine. Let this area expand, let it soften, giving it what it needs. And as we exhale, let's release it with the primordial sound of the universe. Om. Dropping this practice, just noticing for yourself how this simple chanting exercise has activated the trillions of cells that are dancing in your body right now. Now, as we segue into the second phase of Sunday Morning Joy with Jay, we're going to go into a practice known as Bandha Pranayama. Bandha means a lock, and it's a 3 stages of breathing. The first is 30 rounds of bow breathing, in through the nostrils, out through the nostrils. I do the counting, you just follow along. Followed by exhaling and holding for 30 seconds, second round 60, final round 90 seconds. Believe me, you can do it. Believe in yourself, believe in the practice, believe in this group. We're all going to collectively do it together. Your mind is going to tell you otherwise. It's going to say you're not good enough, you're not capable, you're not qualified to do this. But don't listen to the chatter. Believe in the depth, the practice, because at the end of this, you will see that it'll make you feel completely rejuvenated. And if you simply cannot hold, that's okay. Go ahead and let go. Catch up with us in the next round. So each round is capped out with an inhalation and holding with full lungs for 15 seconds. I do the counting, you just follow along. Okay? With that, let's go ahead and start with 30 rounds of bow breathing, in through the nostrils, out through the nostrils. Go with the flow. In with relaxation, out with stress. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale and hold 30 seconds. You can totally do this. Drop into the rhythm of your heartbeat. Can you feel your blood pulsating throughout your body? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 15 seconds. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Let go. Full cycle of breath in and out as we prepare for the second round of this Bandha Pranayama practice. And let's start with 30 rounds of bow breathing together. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale and hold 60 seconds. You can do this. Ask yourself, what am I grateful for in my life right now? We all have so many blessings in our lives. Can I make a list of at least 5 things that I'm grateful for in my life right now? We're almost there, folks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 15 seconds. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Let go. Full cycle of breath in and out as we prepare for the third and the final round of this Bandha Pranayama practice. Let's start with 30 rounds of bow breathing. In through the nostrils, out through the nostrils. Go with the flow. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale and hold 90 seconds. Believe in yourself. You can do this. I want you to now feel the sensations in the soles of your feet. Coming to the heel. Can you feel your heel right now? Heels on both your feet. Coming up through the shins to the calf muscles, to the knees, through the thighs, and then to the largest muscle mass in your body, your buttocks. And moving up from the back, following the spine from the small of the back to the middle back, to the upper back, to the shoulder blades, and from your front, the stomach, the chest, and to your shoulders. Now feel the sensations in the tips of your fingers, the palms, the wrists, the forearms, the elbows, the upper arm, the shoulders, the back of the neck. We're almost there, folks. Back of the head, to the top of the head, to the front, the entire face, and your entire body. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 15 seconds. Final stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Let go. Full cycle of breath in and out as we prepare for reintegrating with normal breathing. As you do so, I want you to notice how this practice has changed you. Notice the ease of your breath, the slower pace of thoughts in your mind, and the lightness you may be feeling in your entire body. This is the power of pranayama, the art of cultivating life energy. Now, as we segue into the deep end of the pool, with the mind relaxed, the body calm, and the breath deep, we're going to go ahead deep into the heart space. This practice on forgiveness, the freedom of letting the heart breathe. I'm going to begin with an ancient story from the East. Long, long time ago, there were two monks who were traveling together. It was the monsoon season. Heavy rain had just ended. The road was dissolved into mud. The river they needed to cross was overflowing. As the monks arrived at the bank, they saw a young woman. She was wearing fine clothes and she was standing there, unable to step into the water. She was scared. So one of the monks lifted her gently, carried her across, and set her down on the other side. And the two monks then continued their journey in silence. A couple of hours had passed, and then the second monk spoke. His voice was tight with disapproval. He said, "We are not permitted to touch a woman, you know. How could you break your vow in such a way?" To that, the first monk looked at him and with kindness in his eyes, said, "Brother, I set her down on the river bank 2 hours ago. Why are you still carrying her?" And so it is with us. We carry moments that have already ended. We carry words that were spoken years ago. We carry faces, disappointments, betrayals, misunderstandings, long after life itself has moved on. Not because we were meant to suffer, but because the heart has not learned that it's allowed to set them down. Today, we gather here not to force forgiveness, not to make ourselves noble or spiritual, but to notice the weight we were never meant to carry. And know what it's to feel like when you let the heart breathe again. So, dear ones, if you haven't already done so, I invite you to gently close your eyes and allow your body to be at ease. Let the spine be dignified yet unforced. You could be doing this practice seated, cross legged on the floor, sitting on a chair, or even lying down. Let the hands rest wherever they feel natural. I want you to feel the miracle of just being here. Nothing to solve, nothing to improve, and nothing to fix. You are not here to become someone else. You are here to return. You are here to enter a vast inner temple. This temple has no walls. It is made of presence. It is made of awareness. It is made of the quiet witnessing that has been with you your entire life. In this space, everything is allowed to be seen. Nothing is judged. Nothing is pushed away. At the center of this temple is your heart. I'm not talking about the physical organ, but the subtle heart, the place where memory, tenderness, longing, and love all live together. In the sacred space, you may begin to notice that that heart has been holding stones, some small, some ancient. And each stone carries a story. Perhaps a moment you were not understood, a time when you weren't chosen, a word that cut deeper than it should have, a way you wish you had been treated, or a way you wish you had treated someone else. I tell you not to analyze, just notice. You are not being asked to throw these stones away. You're only being invited to feel how heavy they are. Feel what it has cost the heart to keep them carrying them. Forgiveness begins not as an action, but as an honesty. This is heavy. Now imagine that awareness itself, your deepest self, is sitting besides your heart. Not trying to change it, not giving advice, just present. like a vast sky sitting beside a small, tired traveler. Let this presence look at the stones with infinite compassion. You're not asking, why are you still holding this? But let there be whispers. Of course, this was hard to carry. Of course, this hurt. Of course, you try to protect yourself. Feel the difference? Forgiveness is not the mind saying it didn't matter. Forgiveness is the heart hearing. It mattered, and you don't have to hold it alone anymore. There is nothing you need to force. Forgiveness is not an achievement. It is a softening that happens when the heart feels safe. So, dear one, simply sit. Let the stones be seen in the light of compassion. And notice. And as you notice, some of them are already beginning to loosen. Not because you are strong, but because you are no longer alone with them. If it feels natural, allow the image of someone to arise with whom there is still a contraction. Don't choose the most difficult person. Let the heart choose what is ready. See them at a distance, not as the role they played in your life, but as a human being who, like you, had known confusion, fear, and longing. This does not excuse. This does not justify. It simply sees. Say silently if it feels true. I release you from my inner courtroom. I no longer need to replay this story. I return your path to you, and I return my heart to myself. Notice forgiveness is not for them. It is the moment you stop drinking the poison, that poison that you were hoping would reach someone else. It is the moment the chain between your heart and that memory dissolves. And in that dissolving, space appears, breath appears, life appears. Now let the attention turn inward. The place where you have been most unforgiving is often towards yourself. Bring to mind something you still hold against your own heart. A choice, a delay, a mistake, a version of yourself you have not allowed to be loved. See that younger self standing before you. Not as someone to be corrected, but as someone who did the best they could with the level of consciousness they had at that moment. Walk toward them. Place your hands on their shoulders and let these words arise from the depth of your being. I did not know then what I know now. I am learning. I am allowed to be human. I welcome you back into my heart. Feel what happens when the war within begins to end. Now, imagine the heart itself. With every stone that is gently set down, the space inside it grows. As if windows are opening. Fresh air is entering. Light is touching places that have been closed for years. The heart begins to breathe. This breathing heart is your natural state. Not armored, not defended, not rehearsing old conversations. Just alive. Just open. Just here. Rest in this spaciousness. It requires no effort, no technique, nothing to carry. This is the innocence that was always beneath the story. This is the quiet strength that lives on the other side of letting go. Forgive not to change the past, but to give my heart a future. I release what I no longer need to carry, and I return to the vastness of who I am. My heart is free to breathe, to love, to begin again. As we bring this practice to a close, allow one question to echo through your inner temple. If I am no longer defined by what I have been holding, who am I? If I'm no longer defined by what I've been holding, who am I? I want you to please bring your palms together in prayer position at your heart center, Anjani Mudra. Gently tuck your chin towards the heart space in a posture of gratitude for what we have received. I want you to rub your palms against each other to kindle the chi, the prana, the life force. And then go ahead and cup your eyes, one with each palm, and bless yourself. I am truly blessed. I am fortunate. I attract amazing people into my life. I attract wealth. I welcome great ideas. I welcome amazing opportunities. I'm guided by love. I give everywhere I go, even if it's only a smile. My abundance overflows to those around me. I love my life. I'm the M in magic. I'm unstoppable. I welcome wealth into my life at the intersection of light and matter. I welcome wealth into my life as life-giving life and life-sustaining life. I welcome wealth into my life as a manifestation of truth, goodness, and beauty in this world. And ever so gently bringing your palms back together in prayer position at your heart center. I thank you for joining me in this practice today. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Ever so gently, I invite you to go ahead and drop your arms and open your eyes. And then, if you could summarize how you're feeling right now in one word, what would that be? I invite you to, at your own pace, drop that one word into the chat so we may all know how you're feeling. I'm seeing relaxed, soft, amazing, rejuvenated, free, blissful, lighter, bliss, grounded, expanded, peaceful, lighter, grateful, grounded, restored, lighter, forgiven, free, whole. So the common theme seems to be lightness and freedom, exalted, etc., etc. The list goes on. Congratulations, dear one. Take a pat on your back. You showed up for yourself, and clearly, this has reaped you immense rewards. This is what it means when you take time to put yourself on top of your priority list and be there to go within that temple, that inner sacred space that has been long ignored with all the sensory stimulation from the world outside that pulls you in 100 different directions and tells you something else out there is more important and needs your attention right now. This is that time when you pull your hand back and say, put it on your heart, and they say this is where it truly all begins. So congratulations once again. Now I'm going to go ahead and open it up for any questions, anything that you want to bring up. In the state of deep rapture, I saw that Goddess was speaking through the one who hurt me. The wound became a true gift just once so far. Wow, Kate, that is profound. But see, there's so much truth in that these challenges, these kind of crack, opening or creating a crack within that egg that we call, that hard shell that we call our ego. It gives a glimmer, it gives an opening for us to be able to see the deeper truth, where there's a room for me to grow as a greater, better, more powerful human being. Absolutely. Sometimes we need that. And sometimes it's these challenges. And I tell you, it's not only just about these people causing us hurt, even circumstances, being laid off, for example. I've seen so many times over and over again where people are clinging onto something, a persona, a profession that is really not serving them and not bringing out the greatest version of themselves. And that loss, that pulling of that rope, that almost it creates a scab tissue on your hands that have been so desperately clinging on to them, liberates you, and that liberation opens up the room for you becoming the best version of yourself. Isn't that true? Isn't that what you've seen in your own life and people around you if it hasn't personally happened to you? So yes, these things are really, like somebody said, the next level. Yeah, the next level growth, education, opportunities. So fantastic. And I appreciate all of you making donations without even me asking. So profound, the healing session, seeing the heavy rocks and wounds and letting them go with kindness. Indeed, Alberto. I keep repeating over and over, hurt people, let them go. Indeed, indeed. And then let them go and let me evolve as well to see these are things like, certain things happen to me. And I say that this I know is not what I want to be. Sometimes it's important to not just become who you are and what you're wanting to become, but also what to steer away from, what to evolve away from. Right. So those are also things that are lessons that I learned that you wouldn't know. And it's, truth be told, it's when you are in that state of darkness that when you find your way to the light, that you know what it means to be in darkness and be there for somebody else who may be going through that, who may be unaware of how to navigate that. So that wisdom, that compassion, that empathy can happen, can emerge through you only when you have been. Like it said, that spirituality is for those who have been to hell and are coming back. Religion is for those who are still scared. Sit with that for a second. Lots of power, lots of truth. Amazing. Like I said, this is a community that has clung together for 6 years now. That we talk about things that are deep, 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 deep. And we don't shy away from entering into those spaces and see them for what they are, letting them go, healing, evolving, and rising. We can't do that by just avoiding and just by pretending as if it never existed, or just keep looking in the other direction, keep running all your life. How can you heal? How can you allow or let yourself help others who need to heal if you don't look and be courageous enough to peer into that space and really cleanse that temple, to let those stones grow, to let the stones go away so that there is the sacred altar that is left behind. So 236 of you staying well beyond our allocated time. Could you please share how this can be replayed on YouTube? Neighbors' kids were running and jumping the entire time. Was challenging to be connected. It's yes, indeed. Anime, it is available too. So go ahead and look up my channel. It is Meditate with Jay. Meditate with Jay is the name of my channel. If you're a part of my WhatsApp group, then you will see I will post this link. My assistant will do a little bit of work and post it tomorrow, typically. So to Monday morning is when I share the link, and then about a few days later, she will work on putting out just the meditation bit. I know some of you don't have the time to do the chanting, the breathwork, and all the preamble that went with this. So she just cuts out the 20, 25 minutes of it and just posts it as a meditation that will be available close to next weekend. But all of that will be on my WhatsApp group. And if you're wondering how to get there, I encourage you to go to this Insight Timer profile. And if you click on the links posted on my profile, you will find ways to contact me, and then I can add you to that group. Okay, so thank you so much. Very well said. I'm so grateful I found you. Well, I'm glad after all these years that you found us. Indeed, as always, this perfect place and time. And Jared says, I ended up doing this for a childhood friend who was hurting. The stones were having a hard time coming out of the heart. Once you said I didn't have to do it alone, the stones actually began to dissolve in water. Then it was simple to pour the water out. I love that, Jared. I love that metaphor of water dissolving the stones of the heart. Question about the pranayam. Does anyone else have a tendency to yawn during the practice? Wow, yawn. So clearly it's activating your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest part of your autonomic nervous system. So that's what it's doing. But I've also heard many, many times here that people feel they feel anxious because they're not used to holding breath. I guess each one has its own response to it, because some of you may be holding that sense of asphyxiation, some probably some old trauma around that. So yeah, so I can see how if it is deeply relaxing, then you will tend to yawn. Just meditation, for example, sometimes people tend to associate it with the parasympathetic nervous system, and then they fall asleep and then say, how do I stay awake? And the idea is that with training, you'll be able to separate out how deep aware restedness, right? So deep rest that comes from being aware and awake is what can truly transform. So you can be in sleep for several hours and not get the same kind of rejuvenation, because here you're consciously rewriting your neural networks by choosing to live with positivity, letting go, and creating a mental framework that is going to serve you. After the breath work, I felt so sleepy and relaxed. Your body was tingling too, but I'm glad that you mentioned how to stay awake better. Indeed. Time zones matter too. Of course they do. Thank you. Of course. All right, folks. With that said, with all the love in my heart, I wish you continue to do this practice through the course of the week. I have probably 300 meditations on Insight Timer alone. I have hundreds of them on YouTube as well. And then if you Google me, you can find all kinds of resources from me over the course of this last 20 years that I've been teaching. And I encourage you to make that your daily practice. My personal practice is starting the day with meditation, breath work, affirmations, reading something positive, and then hitting the gym. And so I've encouraged you to find your own rhythm, make it daily, make it such a thing that it's a habit, it's a muscle memory that you don't have to think about it. And remember, it all starts with yourself. It all starts with the altar, the sacred altar that's within you, the temple that we entered into today. So take the time to do your self nourishing practices, the self rejuvenating practices, because everything flows from there. Everything is downhill from there. The rest of the day you give, the rest of the week, the rest of the year, you can only pour what's in your teacup. With that said, I wish you all have an amazing rest of the week. So I come back every couple of weeks, so it'll be a week from next Sunday. And I will see you same time, same place. Until then, be well.